The start of a new series. It's really beautiful when you think about it. Now, today we're going to be starting my series going over every signature cocktail for the 50 states of the Union. And of course, by the Union, I mean the United States of America. Unfortunately, there aren't 50 states of Mexico that I can go over. Well, there are, but not that much. Anyways, how am I going to be splitting this up? Luckily, the U.S. Health Bureau has split up the United States into 4 regions based off where they are geographically. Why it was them and not the census that did it, I don't know. The census is splitting up into 5 sections makes no sense because one of them only has like 4 states. I don't know why the U.S. Health Bureau did a better job. I'm digressing. Today, we're going to be starting off with the Northeast section of the United States, but we'll also be covering the West, Midwest, and South. And from that alone, you should be able to tell where your state is. Alright, let's get mixing. So as I said, we're starting off with the Northeast today, and the first state we're going to be covering is Connecticut. Connecticut, the signature cocktail, is the Dark and Stormy. This is a classic cocktail in the Buck family, which includes the Moscow Mule, Kentucky Mule, Irish Mule. It's basically any cocktail that uses lime juice and ginger. Let's get started. So this one, to do it, we start off with 1 ounce of lime juice. And we top it off with ginger beer. And then we add in two ounces of Gosling's rum. If it's not Gosling's, it's not Dark and Stormy. And we simply layer that on top, giving it this cool look. And we just garnish that with a lime wheel. And there you go, the Connecticut, the Dark and Stormy. The next state we're covering is Maine. And for Maine, we have a typical drink called sombrero, also known as Kahlua and cream. So with a secondary name like that, you know it's going to be simple. Start off with 2 ounces of our Kahlua. And top it with cream. And there you go. The Maine, the sombrero. If you want, what you could do is just give it a little stir, but I like the layering effect that you get from just building it. So the stir is optional, but I don't do it. Now really, if we're talking about this being Maine, it should be Dr. Allen's coffee liqueur, but Kahlua is what I have on hand, so sorry. For Massachusetts, we're doing what's known as a Cape Cod, which is also known as a vodka cran. I know, these cocktails are simple to start off, but they get good, trust me. Alright, start off the Cape Cod. We need 2 ounces of our Russia's Finest vodka. And then this is optional, but in my Cape Cods, I like a skosh of lime juice. Then you just top it off with cranberry. And a little lime wedge or wheel, just for some prettiness. Alright, and there you go. The Massachusetts, the Cape Cod. Next up we have New Hampshire. For New Hampshire, because of all its apple groves, we're doing an Applejack cocktail called a Pink Lady. This is another call drink, so a lot of you might have heard of it, maybe not. I don't dictate that. If you haven't heard of it, try this one out. Start off with 1 ounce of lemon juice. Then the recipe calls for half an ounce of grenadine. I prefer using just pomegranate juice, because I like my cocktails a lot drier than others. Then this cocktail has a split base, so we're going to use 1 ounce of gin. I use a London Dry for this one. And 1 ounce of Applejack, which is just apple brandy, not apple flavored Jack Daniels. And to really make this a pink lady, we're going to use an egg white. So in your other tin, crack the egg and separate the white from the yolk. And to start off, let's give this puppy a dry shake. Alright, now that we have our egg white starting to foam up, what we can do is add a big rock of ice to not break the emulsion. Start off, a couple of soft shakes, just chilling down the tin, then create that airtight seal and really go at it. Then once that's done, just simply strain it right into your martini glass or any Nick and Nora style glass. And there you go. I think this one has a beautiful color. The New Hampshire, the Pink Lady. Next up we have New Jersey, which has a very similar cocktail to New Hampshire. This time we're doing a Jack Rose, which is, in my opinion, the perfect Thanksgiving cocktail. It's not too sweet, it's got the right flavors, and of course, it's got a very pretty color that fits right on the Thanksgiving table. Start off with the Jack Rose. We need 1 ounce of pomegranate juice, 1 ounce of lime juice, not lemon. We're doing lime this time. And this one gets a full base of Applejack, unlike the Pink Lady. So 2 ounces of that Applejack. And this one does not get an egg white top. And while I pour this out, a lot of people have asked me how long do I shake it for, because I don't have a specific time of it. I just shake it until I feel the cocktail and the tin are nice and cold. But there you go. The New Jersey, the Jack Rose. For New York, we have a Long Island iced tea. I mean, what else could it be with all these ingredients out? Let's get started. Start off, we add half an ounce of vodka, half an ounce of gin, half an ounce of rum, forgot to open this baby, half an ounce of tequila, half an ounce of triple sec, a splash of lemon juice, and we shake that up. It's going to be a quick shake and dump in there. And then, to make it a Long Island iced tea and make it look like iced tea, top that baby with Coke. Then to really make it look like an iced tea, I'm going to put a lemon wedge right there. And there you go. The New York, the Long Island iced tea. For Pennsylvania, we have a cocktail called the Philly Special. I want a cheesecake just saying that. Not a cheesecake, a cheesesteak, just saying that name. Start off with 2 ounces of our gin. We're going to do half an ounce of lemon juice. Third an ounce of maraschino. And third an ounce of amaretto. Pour that straight in there. And there you go. You have the Pennsylvania, the Philly Special. For Rhode Island, my home state, we're going to be making a cocktail called the Rhode Island Red. I was surprised to learn about this cocktail, actually. Start off with 2 ounces Blanco tequila. And fun fact about this cocktail, it's actually named after a chicken called a Rhode Island Red. So take that what you will. 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. Two dashes orange bitters. Half an ounce of agave syrup. And half an ounce of Chambord, which is a black raspberry liqueur. Give that a good stir. And just pour it right in. And there you go. The Rhode Island Red. Finally, for Vermont, we have a cocktail called the Old Vermont. Thank you, Bobby Flay, for this recipe. Start off with 1.5 ounces of gin. Then, interestingly, we're going to use half an ounce of maple syrup to replicate all of Vermont's maple trees. 1/4 ounce of lemon juice. And 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. For a lot of cocktails, I can say you can either stir or shake them. This one, you want to shake it because of the maple syrup. It's very sticky. And it won't stir very well. Well, once you're done, you just strain it in there. And there you go. The final cocktail of the day. The Vermont, the Old Vermont. You know, the Northeast really is where I feel at the most home in this country. And I'm glad to have started this series with the region. Stay tuned until next time. I don't know what region we'll cover next, but it'll be a good one, because all these regions are great. Until then, have a good night. Cheers. And you enjoy yourselves.